Hi, it's Jenny, and today I've got a Christmas tag that we're going to make that you won't be able to resist. In this project, I used several resist techniques with a new twist. These should be fun to add to your projects, so let's get started. First, we're going to cut a tag from neutral cardstock and then emboss it using any folder that you have around. I use Spellbinder's Butterfly Kisses. And then we're going to take watermark ink, and we want to ink the raised surface only. So I used a foam applicator and just lightly went over the raised surfaces. And I didn't do it all over the whole tag. I left spots. And then I'm going to emboss it, and I used iced enamels in chartreuse, which is a really pretty chunky embossing powder. And then you're going to heat emboss that. And then we're going to go back and do the same thing with the German silver embossing powder, filling in the areas that weren't covered with the chartreuse. Now we're going to use some Art Anthology colorations in Sangria to fill in those white areas. And so you're just going to mist your tag, and all the areas that were embossed with the embossing powder are going to resist the color. And let it set for a second, and then just take a paper towel and dab up the excess. We're going to add some more color around the edges of our tag using June Bud from Art Anthology, and I just painted that around the edges. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more of the German silver embossing powder into that. Let it dry good before you heat emboss it, and then you can heat set it. I cut holly leaves from Sizzix's Holly Branches die, and we're going to emboss those as well. This is using Hampton Arts Graphic 45's 12 Days of Christmas stamp set number 1. We're just going to use the words as text on our holly leaves, and we'll emboss it with black powder. And don't be afraid to stamp on your die cuts. It gives them a whole new life. And after we've heat embossed it, we're going to use a coloration spray again to add our color. And we'll use a mixture of pesto and guacamole to give us two different nice shades that coordinate pretty. This is the same branch from that die, and we're going to paint it with the truffle velvet dimensional paint. And then we'll just set this aside and let it dry. Alright, now we're using the Hampton Art Bethlehem postage stamp, and we're going to do some resist with gesso. And you're going to use a foam brush and just paint onto your stamp. And this is a really nice technique because it shows you those little paint lines in your stamped image. So we're going to stamp that. Be sure and go wash your stamp off right afterwards so it doesn't dry on your stamp. But we'll set that aside and let it dry, and then we'll come back with the coloration spray, and again we use the guacamole and spray this, and again use your paper towel to get up the excess. And then we'll just cut this image out and have it to use on our finished tag. I ended up using 3 of the leaves, and you can see the arrangement of the finished tag. It was not hard, but it was a lot of fun techniques that you could use easily on all kinds of projects. So I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you'll come back again. Thank you.